Yeah, Nazis are pretty f***ing gay.
Yeah.
Lady in the Trans podcast. Where we believe in science. We don't believe in God. Only science. Science will solve all the problems. That's the trans agenda.
Trans people in science come save the day.
Solve the problems with us. With science. Science, bitch.
Science and my trans agenda, I'm returning trans.
Welcome to Lady in the Trans podcast. I'm on a bed.
And I am trans.
Yes. And I almost said I'm Chloe. I'm Laura.
That's also true.
So today, I hate this timeline.
This is so like, remember when we started the Trans Girls in Sports episode and I was like, I'm upset that I have to talk about this?
Yeah.
This is that times like 1,000.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I didn't know this existed for a long time. And then I did know that it existed, and it's deeply infuriating and so offensive. It's so much more offensive than people being like, trans women have a slight advantage in sports, you know?
Yeah.
Like, like that's wrong, but this is disgusting. This is like vomit-inducing levels of horseshit.
It is disturbing to know that people like this fucking exist.
Yeah, it is.
And they're men.
And they are
course.
men.
They're white men.
So at this point, yeah, you probably already know from the title or whatever, but today we're talking about Transmaxxing, which is...
I want to throw up. Like, what a fucking joke.
Because transmaxing, the term comes from like gamer culture, like online incel gamer culture. When you are playing a video game, often an RPG or something where you want to like, you're allowed to like put your stats in certain areas. You want to, usually it's like you're min-maxing, which is like, you minimize a bunch of your traits and maximize one of them. And you just get like, you go all in on like one thing. So transmaxing is just dropping everything and going all in on being trans, except that it's not being trans because these people are not trans.
Yeah, these people so I want to start this episode off by saying the trans community is not associated with this group at all.
Not at all.
Most people in general, unless you're an incel on fucking 4chan or whatever, like did not know about this until after the Charlie Kirk incident happened. And it's now being talked about a lot on my feed on TikTok and just everywhere I go, like YouTube. I feel like the Groiper thing, all of that is being discussed. So they are not affiliated with the trans community, the gay community at all. This is a completely separate thing. These people are not actually trans. These are a bunch of sick incels that instead of going to therapy and solving their problems, they are... We'll get into it. I'm going to go on a whole rant.
It's a hell of a rabbit hole to fall into when you start digging into this.
Yeah.
Because it's actually insane.
Yeah.
This is literally a group of people, a community of online men who identify as incels, and they have taken it to be a part of their identity that they cannot get laid, which is like an absurd way to just give up on yourself.
Yeah.
First of all, why would you identify as that?
Because they don't want to take responsibility. Like, what I understand of incels is they treat women like shit. They have self-esteem issues within themselves, and they don't take care of themselves. So, like, obviously women are going to find you repulsive if you're like that. Like, if you're not taking a shower and you're all gross and you're all
mean to
mopey,
her?
and then you're mean and act like she's less than, yeah, no bitches are gonna fuck you, dumbass. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have empathy for these people because it's like, and most of them are white cis men.
That's
And
true.
it's just like, you create your own fucking problems. You are creating your own problem.
Yeah.
Like, the answer is staring you in the face and you're going, nope, women, fuck women. They should be treated like children or whatever fucking weird shit they say.
Like, a core part of their worldview is that men have it worse. And here's the most frustrating thing about this is like, because I did a deep dive into some of these communities and was reading their posts and like, checking their pages and figuring out like, what do these people believe? Who are these people? And I was expecting to see just like literally a bunch of idiots like rage baiting and posting random stupid shit. And what I discovered is that these are actually like well-read, well-spoken, intellectual people who have decided that, yes, things used to be worse for women, but then feminism happened, and now the tables have completely flipped on their head. And women have it better, and men have it worse, and we live in a matriarchy, and women run the world, and they run it by being hot and by sleeping through like a bunch of men and getting whatever they want.
If that was the case, we'd all be in positions of power right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like literally all it takes is to actually look at the evidence to see that this isn't true. But they genuinely believe at their heart of heart, the core idea that every other idea that they believe springs out of is that women have more power. It's harder to be a man. And from there, you can start laying layer and layer and layer of bullshit. And if it supports that thesis, they believe it, regardless of evidence. But like, these are people who've studied history. They know a lot about history. They understand the feminist movement. They understand the waves of the feminist movement, which is something that a lot of feminists I know don't even know. But they have somehow gotten to the end of all of this research and the studying of history and the looking into all of this shit, and they have come to the conclusion that is the complete opposite of what is actually true. And I simply don't understand how that happens.
I also have this theory because women got rights and
Some rights.
They're also reversing a lot of them now.
Yeah, a lot of those got taken away. And women were never had equal rights.
No, it was never an equal playing field.
At no point has it been equal.
No. And socially speaking, there's still been gatekeepers in every corner of every industry, not letting women into higher positions. But like, we started going to school and we have better educations than most men our age. Like, young men aren't getting educated the way young women are. Women are more likely to own their own home and like their own stuff and not live with their parents and things like that and be independent. And I feel like men kind of, before we were given at least some freedom, it was, oh, well, like, I could marry a girl and she wouldn't have a choice back then. Like, you were almost guaranteed to get married no matter how much of a piece of shit you fucking were.
Yeah.
So like, I think for a lot of them, they're angry that it's not as easy for them to just, oh, well, like, someone will marry me because they have to, which is like such an insidious, like, sick thing to think. Like,
because when women had no rights, like, the system was designed that way so that every man would have a family, so that every man would have a wife, so that every man would procreate. It was designed for capitalism to create an endless supply of humans.
Yeah, and also women having babies makes it so they're less likely to rebel and like fight for their rights.
Yeah.
Because they have children to think about.
Yes.
Like,
keep women at home, worried about the kids, because they love their kids and they want to take care of their kids, and that means that that's going to take a lot of their time away. And also give every man whatever he wants. A job, a sex slave, maybe a real slave, whatever.
Cleans up after you. You can beat her up when you're pissed off that day. Like,
right. And what are they going to do?
And they want to go back to that. The incels do.
That is
like,
what they want to go back to.
Good fucking luck, bro. No one's having kids anymore, but you know.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. They want to just have sex on demand.
And a lot of them are r***y too, the way they talk about women.
Yes, of course.
Like Nick Fuentes right after the election, oh, we control your bodies now, bitch. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. And then he got doxxed and people were showing up to his house and he like freaked out on, like, I guess a reporter came to his house and he like, I forget if he like maced her or some shit like that. But he's a pussy.
It also explains the new corn trend of free use. Do you know free use?
I'm not 100% familiar with that.
Free use is like a whole genre now.
Oh, it's a genre.
It's a genre of corn.
I thought it was like some legal jargon.
No.
What is that?
So it's a genre where you enter into a contract with a girl. In a lot of them, it's like a stepsister or just somebody who's going to be around the house a lot. Basically, they're available to you for free to use whenever you want. So it's videos of like a girl will be just like sitting there doing her homework and somebody will just come over and start fucking her and she'll
It's
just
like weird.
keep doing her homework and like literally just like ignore that it's happening. And it's just like scenario after scenario of this shit. That's like one of the key genres of porn nowadays. Like if you're on a porn site for not super long, like one of them will be recommended to you. These men are creating porn for these people so that they can imagine living in the world that they wish it was, where like women were just available for them whenever they want.
And they would just get
They
all
never,
the fucking time and
they,
not say
yeah,
anything.
they never have to ask. The girls don't have a problem with it. Everyone's happy. Win, win, win.
And that's
like,
one of the main reasons I went out and bought a gun this year.
I don't know if you can say
I bought a pew pew. Pew
So-
pew pew. Pew pew pew. It's a 22. It's not. It's a 9mm, but like it's
And they basically they have this fundamental belief that like the only true currency is whether or not you're attractive, like objectively physically attractive.
that's because that's how they view women. So they think we look at them
Yes.
from the same lens.
It is projection.
Yeah.
It is all projection.
Everything coming from this group, from what I understand of it, it is all projection. And it's funny because they're like the far right. I didn't even know there was something further right than Charlie Kirk, which
yeah.
is crazy.
And these people hate MAGA.
Yeah, they're so far right they hate MAGA. It's not
Yeah.
fascist enough for them.
I mean, honestly, they mostly hate MAGA because they think that most of the followers are stupid.
Which, I mean,
Yeah, because they're not super opposed to like the MAGA ideology. They're opposed to the MAGA cult. They're opposed to like associating with people that they see as beneath them. And they see the followers of Trump as just like gullible, stupid morons.
Yeah.
And these people actually are fairly intelligent. They just have put the puzzle together completely wrong.
they're emotionally unintelligent, and I think that's the problem.
Yes, they're emotionally absolutely stupid.
If you're logically intelligent but not emotionally intelligent, it just makes you stupid. It doesn't
Yes.
matter what
Yes.
things you're smart in.
Yeah.
Like, look at Elon Musk.
I don't even think he's smart.
I don't think he
I
is
don't even
either.
think he's smart.
I mean, look at like any like of the tech billionaires though. They are smart in some categories, but like they're
Yeah.
emotionally dumb.
Yeah.
And it makes you stupid. It makes you choose to believe things and take steps to make things happen that are not going to work out long term. A and B aren't good for
Yes.
everyone, which ends up not being good for you.
Yeah. And these people, like, it's crazy because like they worship all these sci-fi worlds where the movies that are made in those worlds frequently make the point that living purely by logic with no emotion is the road to disaster. But that's what they choose to do on
Yeah.
a daily basis, is live purely on logic with no emotion. So I'm going to come back to what we're talking about, which is transmaxing. Basically what it is it starts at the idea that women are basically living life on easy mode. Again, it's all gamer terminology. Like, these are young boys who were raised just on video games.
Yeah.
And like they don't know what the real world is.
Talking to older guys that already think this way, and it just keeps them.
Exactly.
I will say I feel bad for the very young kids that
I
are
do
being
too. I'm going to get into that.
the adults that are bringing them into it though. Fuck them. They're terrible people.
Yeah. I am so angry that this is a thing
Me too.
because it adds credence to like the J.K. Rowlings of the world who have
Yeah.
spent the last literally 5 years of their lives devoting themselves wholly and fully to eradicating actual trans people. I genuinely believe that people like her have never interacted with any actual trans people.
Oh, a
and
million
have
percent.
and have interacted with a ton of transmaxers.
Oh, I'm sure.
I guarantee you, when they search trans, their algorithm points them to a transmaxer page.
Yeah, because transmax is the alt-right, and the far right and the alt-right are much more closely related.
And if you're already in right-wing algorithm land, then you Google the word trans, and the shit that's going to come up is these fucking men who are literally transitioning exclusively to gain the privileges of being a woman.
Which, like, what do you mean by that? So the funny thing about that to me is, I'd much rather be a cis male than be a cis woman all day.
I'd rather be a cis male than a trans woman.
And all of the problems with being a man.
I fucking wish I wasn't this way.
Yeah, so, you know what I mean? Then on top of that, you're going to be perceived as a trans woman, which is so much more difficult of a life to live than a cis woman. Like, what are you doing? But that's the problem. All of the problems that they perceive that they have, and like they do have these problems, like being a man is a lonely thing because they don't talk to each other and they think it's gay to talk about your feelings or whatever.
But it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing, and it's also, that is a choice you're making. Go make friends with some emotionally intelligent men that know how to have a real relationship. You know, you're lonely because you're sitting around sulking about a problem that you've created. I understand there's a weird social stigma around like men being able to have friendships, but there are men that do it. You and I know cis men that are like wonderful dudes, very, very cool guys, have like, you know, they have their circle of friends that are also other men. Like, you don't have to like subscribe to that bullshit. You don't, but you're choosing to.
But they're so scared of losing themselves by changing their beliefs. And then on some level they would be. Like, they would actually, like, when you change your beliefs, you do change who you are. I'm constantly a different person. Like, if I met me from 10 years ago, I would hate that person.
I would fight 10-year ago me. Like,
and that person would hate me too. Like, we would not be on the same page about so many things.
Yeah.
Like, that person would be trying to lecture me and convince me of some shit that just isn't right. And I would just be sitting here like patiently trying to take it and then trying to slowly reveal the information that I have uncovered that helped me get from there to here. And I wouldn't be hearing it because I wouldn't be interested in hearing it, because we cling to these beliefs. We cling to the things that we believe. And it's so hard to change our minds or to admit that we were wrong.
Yeah.
Or even worse than that, to lose our entire community and have to start fresh. I feel like I have a slight leg up in that arena because of the fact that, like, my dad moved us around so much when we were kids.
Yeah, so you were used to
like
rebuilding your circle.
Every 3 years, I was like, all right, bye, everyone I've ever known. I'll go start over again. I had to do that 5 times as a kid. So now when it's time for a change, like, I just go, I guess it's that time. Like, fuck it, delete, bye everybody, blow up everything.
Yeah.
And usually 1 or 2 people kind of hang around because they're like, hey, I actually like the way you're going, and you know.
Yeah.
But like, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy that, first of all, that the internet was weaponized by fascists. Secondly, that this ideology is being pushed so heavily on young boys who are literally just trying to hang out with their friends and only know how to do that on the internet.
Yeah.
Or playing video games. It's a shame that the video games that they're playing are rampant with misogyny and racism and this culture of like poning the noobs. I know people don't say that anymore. I haven't been on games in a long time, but like, that's where it started.
Well, this is okay. So, and this is the other thing about video games, because me and the last man I ever dated, and I will not date a man again after this one, but we would play Call of Duty together sometimes, and it was a lot of fun. I loved that game. It was so much fun. But when we would go online, like, I wouldn't say anything because I didn't want someone to know I was a girl, and then like send me rape threats or whatever. Like, I just didn't have. I'm like, I'm trying to fucking kill you in a game, like. You know, but it's like the irony in that is these people are so sad and desperate because they can't get a girlfriend, they can't get laid, and it's like you're doing it to yourself.
Yeah, every time a girl comes by who wants to hang out, you're like, boo, get out of here, we hate you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thought you wanted to try to get laid. Like, how the fuck is that going to happen if you scare away every woman who comes near you?
Yeah, if you, like, treat women like shit, they're not going to want to fuck you. But they want fascism to happen because they think we're going to go back to how we were, but we're not, because women have had their rights. It is very hard to take people's rights from them when they've had them. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
I want you to imagine them trying to pull off every independent woman that lives in California going back to the 1950s. In like a 10-year span. They're not going to pull that off.
Yeah. Yeah.
They might pull it off in certain parts of the US, unfortunately, but like, you're setting yourself up for a miserable life by thinking this way about women.
I'm going to get into some of the particulars, some of the specifics about transmaxing.
Okay.
So it's important to note none of these guys have gender dysphoria.
Yes, none of these people are actually
None
transgender.
of these people are actually trans people. They start as incels.
Yes.
They start as men. They start as misogynists. And they literally transition because there is this 73-page manifesto that gives them explicit instructions on how to transmax so that you can get laid. Because if you are perceived as a woman, if you're able to successfully pass as a woman, you are allowed into women's spaces and you can go stealth and you can surround yourself with women and they will trust you more and then you can sleep with them. And like that's the mission, is just sleep with as many women as possible, bank up as much sperm as you can, procreate as much as you can, because if you stayed a man, you would never get to do that. So this is the only way. This is the only way to keep your bloodline alive. This is the only way to keep you going, is to trick everyone. And like everything that these guys are doing is the shit that trans women are accused of doing.
Yeah, it's all projection. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Because this is the group of people that are actually grooming kids.
Yes.
Trans people are not trying to convince kids to transition.
No, I would
We
never
just
try to
want
convince.
more representation so kids that do have gender dysphoria can get the help they need. But these are people. I'll let you talk about them grooming the other incel, like the young incel boys and stuff.
I got some notes on it. Yeah.
The irony too is if these kids go on hormones, like if these guys go on hormones and actually do the transitioning thing, they're going to end up wanting to kill themselves like all of trans people do before the trans people actually transition, because going on the wrong hormones for your body will make you
gender dysphoria.
It gives you gender dysphoria.
Which makes you feel
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. It's a very clear path where they start doing this. They go through a phase, just a brief little window, where their lives start to get better because suddenly they're less horny than they were before, because estrogen
Kills your sex
does
drive.
not make you as horny as testosterone does. And they're like, oh, wow, I actually have like time, because all I was doing with all of my time was either gaming or gooning.
Yeah.
Right? Like literally.
Yep.
Just those two things. And now it's like, oh, well, now when I'm not gaming, I can think of other things to do. This is wonderful. And they go out and then they are, because they're also putting on a persona, but they go out and they are accepted and people welcome them. And there's like this period of time where everything is going right. And then they hit a peak point where they get used to it and they get comfortable. And at that point, the dysphoria sets in. The sinking, crushing disappointment of being like, this didn't fix my problems.
Yeah. And now I feel uncomfortable
And
in
now
my
I
body.
have new problems
Yeah.
that I don't know what to do with. So many of them are like, I've made a terrible mistake. Like if you go on like the Transmaxxing Reddit, like I just looked at like the most recent 20 posts, and by the time this comes out, it'll be a completely different recent 20 posts. But when I looked at it, the recent 20 posts, maybe 70% of those posts were people being like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What did I, oh God, why have I done this?
What have I done?
And like,
They're giving themselves gender dysphoria.
yes, they're making themselves miserable.
Yeah.
To try to get laid and continue their bloodline.
Yeah. Which is so like, what the fuck is this? Okay, this is another thing I want to point out. It's not every single person in the incel community, but there was a study done on people that self-identified as incels, and personality disorders such as narcissism run very high in these circles. And also a lot of them are either also autistic or just very, very autistic, which makes sense because when you're autistic, you have a hard time with social cues and socializing normally. And so it would make sense that you would gravitate towards these circles because you don't really know where you fit in. But the problem with that is the people that have low empathy levels, like the narcissists in the group, they're going to be predatory and prey upon people that could have gotten help elsewhere, but this is where they ended up.
They've been sold a lie that they have no other choice.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be happy, if you want to be accepted and get rid of your lonely male syndrome, this is the only option for you. And they get into this to like beat the woke mob at their own game. A lot of them go out of their way to pretend that they are actual trans people and spread transphobic hate anti-trans messaging. They make trans people look bad. Some of them have gotten very popular, especially because the online machine, the Nick Fuenteses of the world,
Yeah.
and this whole Elon Musk, this whole conspiracy of all these tech people, this narc world of just the worst men, elevates their content. If they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to transmax and I'm going to like make trans people look stupid, the billionaires are going to be like, great, we will push your shit out. We will push it to as many people as possible so that people who are unfamiliar with trans people and have never seen any trans content experience you first.
Yeah. And now they think that you're just a trans person when you're not a trans person at all.
Yeah, which is why I genuinely like the shit J.K. Rowling says about trans women is like verbatim this manifesto. But being trans is a real thing.
It is, and they are separate from this group, and that's the problem with this as well, because they're already pushing so much hateful rhetoric about women just in general. But now that this is becoming a thing, because you told me this is like a newer thing that incel community is doing, correct? The transmasking thing started within the last
So the
few
first
years.
sort of article that was published about it where someone was like, hey, so I kind of discovered this horrifying thing was in 2022.
Okay.
I have to imagine it started at least a couple years before that, because if it's just an incel culture, like a mainstream media network isn't going to find out about it right away. But once enough of them have done it, like the first person to do it was probably like 2010 or something stupid, you know? And then like it's a slow push towards convincing other people to do it. And once they hit some amount of critical mass, that's when people are going to start to notice. But like now, all the wires are getting crossed and everybody doesn't know who to trust and doesn't know who the real trans people are versus the fake trans people. Because even if you're not trans, if you take hormones, you're going to go through all the same physical transformations.
Yeah.
You know, your skin's going to change, your height's going to change, your face is going to change. And especially if they're like going all in and getting surgeries and stuff, like,
Are some of them going all in and doing that?
yes.
Like, cool, bro. Now you're going to end up killing yourself a few
Yeah.
years down the road because you're giving yourself gender dysphoria.
They are. And because this community that has started this knows that that's going to happen, in the manifesto, there are explicit instructions to intentionally brainwash yourself, to watch like sissy hypnocorn, to like specifically watch as many of these sissy videos and these like cock worship videos. I probably can't say cock. These like
Sock worship.
they're explicitly told like watch these every day, refuse to goon to anything else, only watch these like hypno, you're trans now, you only want to have sex with men, you love this, because it's going to get you over the hump to actually starting the hormones. And once you start them, then you won't need that shit anymore. They have to like trick themselves and literally watch misogynistic, horrifying bullshit just to get to the place where they're willing to do this. And like one of the key differences between one of these people, a transmaxer, and an actual trans person is that like these people start as misogynists and become women to gain a leg up. I started as a feminist and transitioned so that I could be happy.
Yeah.
Those are wildly different motivations.
Yeah, a million
Those are,
percent.
and they're starting from wildly different places.
Yeah.
I was a feminist for a full decade at least before I took a single hormone.
Yeah, and you had an actual medical condition. You had a hormone imbalance that was distressing your mental health.
Yeah.
That's what gender dysphoria is.
But that's
And-
also, but here's the thing. It's hard for these people to know the difference because they are also suicidal.
Yes, but it's not for the same reason.
It's not for the same reason. They are also depressed. They also want to unalive all of the time. But it is for a completely separate
different
reason. But the 73-page guide also said, like, here is the script on what you say to a psychiatrist to get a diagnosis of gender dysphoria. Like, just say all of these words and you will get diagnosed and you will get hormones and you can start the whole thing. You don't have to actually be trans. So when I hear these, before when I heard these stories of like, they're just giving out these hormones to anybody who asks, it's like, kind of. If you're willing to say the script that was written for you in this manifesto of transmaxers, like, you can get hormones.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not an incel or a trans person, you don't have the script. But incels and trans people have the script because trans people are just speaking about their true experience.
Yes.
Incels just listened to trans people talk about their experience,
And go
wrote
and
it
say
down,
this. Yeah.
and memorized it, and then went, I'm going to do what you're doing. And like, I met a guy one time, back when I was an Uber driver, after I had transitioned, but before my life now. And I was driving this guy home, and he was asking me a lot of invasive questions. And I like to not make waves.
Oh, I remember this.
And I like to, make people feel comfortable, especially if they're in my car for another 40 minutes. I don't want to cause a huge bunch of problems. So like, I'll answer offensive questions. I'll let you know that it was offensive, but I will also answer it because I know that it's mostly curiosity and you're coming from a genuine place.
Yeah.
So this guy started asking me questions when he realized I was trans. He was like, do you get laid? And I was like, sometimes, yeah. And he was like, so you like sleep with guys? And I was like, not at all. I'm like super not interested in guys. And he was like, wait, like chicks sleep with you like this? And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, have you heard of lesbians? Like,
Yeah. That's the problem though. That guy doesn't see you as a woman.
right.
And that's why education on trans people is important because
Right.
when you're not seeing trans women as women and trans men as men, you end up with shit like this fucking shit, like the BlackPill,
Yeah.
incel weird shit. Like,
So after I said that, after I was like, yes, women sleep with me, like it happens, he was like, oh shit, I should try that.
I remember when you told me this story and I was like, all right.
And I was like, you know what? Go for it. I dare you to
Yeah. Wear a
learn how to
dress.
do makeup.
Yeah.
Go get a killer fit.
He's a man though.
Look really good.
He's not gonna learn how to do makeup. He's gonna have
No.
some busted shit on his
He's
face.
gonna go out
a bad
looking-
wig and a
Yes.
dress, and he's going to end up getting jumped by a bunch of guys. He's an idiot.
Yes.
They are
Yes.
stupid. They're
Yeah.
incapable of empathizing with other people, so they think our lives are easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. A lot of these guys, after transitioning, come to a point where they're like, oh shit, people are actually like way meaner to me. Like,
Yeah, there was a video I saw. It was a joke video. It wasn't a real thing, but this guy was like, he was like, today I'm going to go undercover as a woman to see what it's really like. And then he gets dressed up in like bad drag. And then it like just cuts to him being like, man, men like to call women the F slur a lot. But he actually said it.
yeah.
And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
even if you were able to pass as a cis girl, like you wouldn't have had a good time. You would have been harassed. And then it's 10 times worse when you're being perceived as a trans woman. So like, have fun with that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what they're thinking. They're not.
I found a post. It was literally this guy who was like, I was posting on I don't know why he was on a Transmaxxer page in the first place, or maybe he wasn't on a Transmaxxer page, but he was posting like, basically, I live my life as a woman. I transitioned when I was a kid. Like, I had posted online that like I hadn't started male puberty yet. And immediately these people latched onto me and were like, now's the perfect time to do it. You're going to pass so much better. Like, this is exactly like you got to
Which
go
is
through with it.
so-
You got to do it. And they pressured this kid into transmaxing. And now this person is like in his 20s and is like, I've made a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
But now I feel like I can't go back because I've been living this way for more than a decade. It's my identity. I changed my documents legally. Like, I got surgeries. I've had these hormones.
They made
and
this kid get surgeries.
They made him like the manifesto says you have to go all the way. Like, you have to do every single thing.
When did
And,
when did this manifesto come out? Like, how long has this been a thing?
I don't know when the manifesto was published. I didn't see a published date. It's long enough, too long, you know? I don't know. It's long enough that this person's experience happened where they were pressured into transitioning, but not to transition, to transmax, because they were like an 11-year-old boy who had fallen down some rabbit hole of inceldom, some red pill pipeline bullshit, and was like, I'm lonely and women don't like me and I feel really sad. And they were like, you know what you got to do? Become a woman.
I guess there's a side of this too where like some of the incels that aren't transitioning, they're convincing people to do it so that way that like those people can be like a girlfriend to one of them or
That
like
too,
somebody
yeah,
else.
absolutely.
Which is so predatory. You're convincing a
Absolutely.
12-year-old kid that has never considered being trans before and you're trying to convince them to transmax.
Yeah.
So you can like you and all of your other creepy incel guys can have like women to be with.
Yeah.
Like it's sick.
It's disgusting.
Like if the right cared about shit like this is what they'd be talking about.
Even if they knew about this shit, they would blame me.
Yeah.
Because they do know about this, and they do blame me.
Yeah.
Like, Nick Fuentes has, like, a position of authority, you know? Like, he's
Yeah.
the one who helped fucking launch a lot of this shit.
Elon Musk is
you
a
know?
fucking incel. Like this is
I
his
know.
shit.
Of course it is.
That's why he goes around doing IVF with like a bunch of different women because he wants to spread his
Yes.
seed.
Yes.
And he knows the only reason he gets laid is because he has money because he's gotten all of these like surgeries that he still looks like. How do you get all those surgeries and you're still a 3 out of 10, bro? Like, how are you a billionaire and you've gotten all of these procedures done to make yourself look better and you're still, ugh.
Look, I wish I had an answer for you, but
Fucking-
like hate does not look good on a person
No, it doesn't.
unless you are also a hater, in which case suddenly hate is the only thing that's appealing to you.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I grew up sometimes in the South, and you meet a lot of couples where it's just like, oh, you are two of the most hateful people I've ever met, and that's what's attracted you to each other.
Yeah.
Is you both hate all of the same people, which
Yeah.
is all of them.
And that's all you vibe over because
Yeah.
you don't know any other emotion.
You hate them because of their race, or you hate them because of their gender, or you hate them because of their politics, or you hate them because of their job, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Country of origin. You just hate, and that's all you have. And if you let go of the hate, who would you even fucking be?
Yeah.
And like, I just can't fucking believe this shit is real.
I can't either. It blows my mind.
And this is not a thing in queer communities, like actual queer spaces
No.
with actual queer people. This is purely on the polar opposite end
Yeah.
of just losers.
Yeah. That just instead of actually directly addressing the problem, they're going to make the rest of the world the problem and go, I'm not the problem. The rest of the world is. And
I
it's
mean,
just
it is a very narc mentality.
It is. Yeah.
Of just
For
like,
a lot of
I
them.
can't possibly be what's wrong. It has to be everything else. So therefore, I will play a secret game that no one knows I am playing at all times, where I am pretending to be someone that they will like, and then gain their trust, and then get them pregnant against their will, or trick them into becoming like me, or it's like, I fucking hate it.
It's insane.
I fucking hate it, dude.
It's insane.
Like, how are...
I feel like if you're like watching this or listening and you have kids, especially if you have young boys, check on where they're like what they're looking at online. You know, there was somebody who made a TikTok that was talking about specifically BlackPill. I guess this person is like very autistic and has gone down this rabbit hole for many years. There's certain dog whistles to look for. I wish I had all of them, but like for example, if you hear your kid say like put the fries in the bag, that's a BlackPill dog whistle.
It's a red flag.
You know, check in on that kid. Ask where do you hear that from? Like, what have you been you know, like it's good to like look into this because it's so easy with the internet. Like I thought the internet was scary when like we were in middle school, you know, like, and it was in some ways. Like I had some creepy older people creeping on me when I was online, but like this is horrifying. And it's not just horrifying for like young kids. This is bad for society as well.
It's bad
This
for
is dangerous
everyone.
for women. It's dangerous for trans people. It's dangerous for parents. It's
It's
dangerous
for men.
yeah, it's dangerous for men.
It's dangerous for everyone. It's
dangerous for Charles work. I'm sorry, too soon? Yeah, probably. Whatever.
Like,
Anyways.
you're not wrong, because like
Man, I'm going to hell. Charles is going to hell, and so am I.
that dude, the pewer, that dude was hanging out on the pages with these people.
Yeah.
And oh, it's so convenient that it's like fake trans people and now they can make trans people the boogeyman.
Yeah.
But like the funniest thing about it, and honestly, it does bring me a little bit of joy that these people, part of the reason that they hate MAGA so much is because they've realized that now that they've gone all in on transitioning, they are trans people. They're not trans people, but they are, in the eyes of the government,
Yeah.
in the eyes of the people who are going to hunt down the trans people.
Yeah. In the eyes of everyone
Yeah.
perceiving them.
And they're like, oh, fuck, we started the hate against ourselves,
Yeah. Which is crazy.
which is a fucking hilarious irony to me.
It kind of is. I feel bad for the people that were groomed into it,
I
but
do
like,
too. But the people who like machinated behind the scenes. to,
and
like,
this is the really fucked up part about it. Not only are they giving themselves gender dysphoria now because they were a cis person that transitioned wrongfully, and if they ever decide to detransition to feel better, there are things that they will not be able to reverse, like an actual trans person would be able to when they transition, because there's only so much
Yeah.
you can do to reverse things like that. And once you've been one thing, transition wrongfully, and then detransition, there are things that are never going to go back to normal.
yeah.
And there are things that with detransitioners that cannot be fixed, you know? Like it makes me wonder how many of, so you know how like when people quote stats on detransitioners,
I was
they
just
leave
gonna
out
say
the part
this,
that a
yeah.
lot of them do it because they're not being socially accepted. And then there are some outliers that did make the wrong choice. And it's a very low percentage. It's like a fraction of a percent of like
It's probably just transmaxers.
it makes me wonder how many of them were transmaxers.
I would put all the money that I have on the fact that the only detransitioners are people who didn't want to be accepted and transmaxers. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't think any actual trans person detransitions for any reason other than societal unacceptance.
Yeah. And that is a thing. That is a thing.
It is
So,
absolutely a thing.
Yeah.
I considered it early on in my transition.
Yeah.
Just like, is this fucking worth it? People are horrible to me. It was
Yeah.
the day that guy almost set me on fire. When I was just
Yeah.
walking. I was just walking down the street, literally playing Pokemon Go. Like, and somebody just walked up, pulled out a lighter, and tried to light my hair on fire. And then like ran away giggling.
I hope that guy gets hit by a car. Fuck
I
that
hope
guy.
he did.
What a bad person. What a psycho.
Yes,
like, what is wrong with you, you
Yeah.
fucking piece of shit?
Yeah.
Like, what is
on
wrong
that
with
day,
people?
I went home and I went, I don't know if being happy is worth it. I don't know if happiness is worth it
Yeah.
for the sheer amount of unacceptance that I'm getting. It's a lot better now because I pass a lot better and I've learned a lot of shit and I have transitioned just more. Like you can get through that hump. But if I had got to that hump and didn't have any support network around me, game over.
Yeah.
I'd be a fucking pretend man right now.
Yeah.
Just the most depressed fucking man you've ever seen in your
Well,
life.
and then the sad part about, so one thing that's like helped me to empathize with trans people is like the way I wrap my mind around gender dysphoria is it is a hormone imbalance. And it's the worst possible one you can get because your body is getting the opposite hormones
Yes.
they're supposed to.
Yeah, rather than just a slight, tip in the wrong direction.
Yeah. And so like for me, because I have all kinds of problems with my menstrual cycle, especially lately, I need to go to
You
a
gotta
doctor.
get that shit checked
I gotta,
out.
I'll figure it out later. We have bigger things to deal with, but when
We
I
can't
was,
deal with them if you're dead. So
I won't be dead. Endometriosis has never killed anybody that I know of. I don't think so. It's not going to kill me. It's fine.
I don't know. I'm not
It's
a
just
doctor.
a painful period, but
I want it on record that I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
I used to have really bad periods when I first started going through puberty, and the way that alone made me feel emotionally was so unbearable. And so when you think of gender dysphoria as it is a hormone imbalance, having my hormones even more out of whack where I'm getting nothing but testosterone and hardly any estrogen at all, I would want to fucking myself too. Like it would make you emotionally all over the place. Like it would make you uncomfortable in your body because all of these physical changes happen with hormones at any age. Like that's essentially what that is. So these people that are transmaxing, you are giving yourself the worst possible hormone imbalance a person can have. That is going to fuck with your mental well-being. Like You're not going to be okay. Your body's going to experience physical changes that you do not want, that do not feel right. So that's the other thing. Because when you say these people are intelligent, maybe the manipulative pieces of shit that are convincing other people to do it are.
It's not just them. It's not just those. It's literally just like some of the people who have done it.
But like some of the people, like, you're an idiot if you think this is going to solve any of your problems.
I mean,
like, you would think these people would be smart enough to go online and read up a little bit about trans people and understand gender dysphoria and maybe put 2 and 2 together that like, oh, I'm going to get gender dysphoria. This is going to make me even more than I was before. Like, maybe don't do that.
there is a difference between intelligence and knowledge, and these people are sorely lacking in a fair bit of knowledge. So they're using their vast intellect to connect pieces without the important details. So they gain tons of information, and the only way they can make sense of it without the women's side of history is through this lens somehow. I don't really get, I can't see myself getting there, because when I got just a little bit of information, I like immediately was just like, oh, I'm a feminist. I was saying that at like 17 years old. And people were like, you're an insane person. It's 2007. No one is a feminist, especially not men. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I am, though. It just means equality for all, and I stand for that.
Smart people are,
Like-
yeah.
like-
Anyone with half a brain is.
Anyone who's like the best person imaginable is a feminist.
Yeah.
So, like, Emma Watson is a feminist, so that's what I want to be. Anything that bitch is
Hermione
doing.
Granger.
We don't speak those names.
Oh, that's right. Fuck J.K. Rowling.
That's her dead name.
It's her dead name.
The other thing, okay, it's only men doing this.
Yeah, so touch on their like weird shit they do about
That's literally what I'm saying.
go off. Go off.
literally what I'm
I'll
about
just
to
let you
say.
go off.
Okay.
Go for it.
It is exclusively men doing this because they have written into the manifesto that trans men should not exist, because they firmly believe that it would be like the core idea of their whole ideology is, in a twisted way, we need to fix the world. We need to make the world better. What they think of as better is a nightmare hellscape, but they genuinely think the world needs to be better. And what they think that means is everyone needs to be more beautiful. And they think men are gross. They think men are unattractive and can never be attractive to anyone because they simply aren't attracted to men. So they believe that a trans man is taking a woman and making her less attractive and potentially taking away her ability to procreate. And their whole thing is procreation.
Yeah,
they
which is like,
are
what?
they are a breeder cult.
It's yeah.
They are a breeder cult. Their whole ideology
fucking creepy.
is about impregnation. They talk about breeding and impregnation and birth rates so much. It's almost the only thing they talk about. And when they're not talking about that, they're gooning. They're online gooning. Or they're going and talking about how important it is that everyone needs to have babies. Or they're gooning. Or they're each other in video games. Or they're transmaxing. Like, these people have no lives whatsoever other than this dumb ideology that they have been force-fed from too young and never had anyone stand in front of them and be like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, literally just look around. But they don't, because they don't live in the real world. They don't live in reality. They live in a video game. And in video games and in movies and in culture, there has been a push towards being more inclusive, towards more movies that feature female characters as the leads. So if you only live in video games, movies, corn, like, if you only live in those
Especially
spaces
corn, yeah.
and you don't look at the real world and you don't look at who all the CEOs are and who all the presidents are and who all the politicians are, and you don't realize that it's like 90% men, it's easy to believe like, well, every movie is just like this dumb, like, girl power. Like, they just literally think that that's all it is. Which is why sometimes you'll post about some movie you're excited about and there'll just be like a shitload of dudes will come out of nowhere and be like, misogynistic bullshit. Because they literally just think like this is women rubbing it in our faces that they have it better than us. Like that's how they see it.
It's all childish too. Like it's insane to me that there are
incredibly
grown men in
immature.
this.
Yes.
There are grown men that follow this
Yeah.
shit.
It's
And
what
it's just
happens when
like-
you just feed a ton of knowledge and facts into a child brain and no amount of questioning or discernment.
The crazy thing about this too, like a lot of the people in these incel groups, like this is natural selection. You're so obsessed with your bloodline carrying on, it's not going to. You're repulsive to people. And it's not because you, like, wherever you started, if you had joined other groups and, like, socialized with normal fucking people, you probably wouldn't have come out a repulsive person. Women aren't as shallow as you are. That's projection.
Yeah.
So, like, if you had just been a normal fucking person, you wouldn't be this miserable fucking loser doing weird, horrendous shit like this.
The problem with everything you're saying is that patriarchy and capitalism brainwashes all of us from birth to think that the only true way to succeed is to have a family,
Yeah.
is to get married, have kids, have a family. All of the media, all of the content is about people and families. It's always about, like that's the only end goal that they can see.
Yeah.
Because there are not that many examples, except maybe in the queer community, of people who are doing something else.
Yeah.
So they can't envision a world for them because, look, not everyone should have a family.
Oh, a
We
million
don't
percent.
need
Yeah.
everyone to have a family.
We're
So these
overpopulated.
are probably people who like don't even necessarily want a family, who are like feeling depressed because they're like, I'm never going to have one, which means I'm never going to amount to anything.
Yeah.
Because they just have never seen like anybody without a family succeed.
And then women aren't having kids as much either, so they just feel hopeless because the ones that do want kids, there's not that many of them. So
Right.
all of these men think they want a family. And this is the thing, men want to have kids, but they don't want to be fathers.
Yes.
Like they
Yes.
just want like
Because-
to like burden some poor girl with their kid and then just like dip out and not be present.
It's because
They've been taught that's what they're
patriarchy-
supposed to do.
It's because patriarchy rewards men who have families.
Yeah.
How many presidents have we ever had who didn't have a family?
Exactly.
How many CEOs are there who don't have a family? If
Exactly.
you don't have a family, society sees you as there being something wrong with you.
Yeah.
So if you're a man and you don't have a family by a certain point, it's true that society looks at you as like, ugh, like what are you up to? Like, how come you're not like a good person? And it's fucked up and it's not true, but like that's the world that we are in.
And I think women, because it was like a thing that was forced upon us that we didn't have a choice with before, like men.
It was the only way women
men
could
still-
survive.
Yeah, men could still make the choice before.
Yes.
Women didn't have a choice. So
Yes.
women, now that
Men
we don't
could
have
live
to,
a happy life, they just couldn't ascend to the highest ranks of capitalism.
yeah,
If they didn't have a wife and a family, they could have a job, they could do whatever,
Yeah.
they were fine. Women could not.
yeah. And now that women don't have to do that, we've excelled past men because they're like, well, what do I do now? Because they don't have a slave at home doing
Right.
everything for them
And
while
look
they go
how
to work.
hard they are fighting to bring that back.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, just do what women are doing. Like, I clean my own house, I do my own chores, I go to work, I do stuff throughout the day. Like, I do all of
Yeah.
my own shit. I'm single.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
I have
Like,
friends who add more joy to my life than kids would.
yeah, like women don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that's still treating them like it's the 50s, and you have to, like, I've dated, like, that's a big reason I don't date men anymore. I'm so grateful I'm bisexual and attracted to both, because like every time I've dated a man, it feels like not only am I like splitting the bills or sometimes covering the bills for them, they also want me to be their fucking mom. And I'm like, bro, you're a grown man. Fold your own laundry. Do your own fucking dishes.
Literally.
Don't come over to my house and make a fucking mess of it. Get your own fucking house. And just women have surpassed them, and they I feel like they gravitate towards the incel thing because they still want to believe it's like you'll be happier if you don't try to make things like it was in the 50s.
Yeah.
You will be more fulfilled. You will have more meaningful relationships with people. You know what I mean? And it feels good to do all of your own shit. It feels good to have a job and make money and pay your bills and also clean your own fucking house like an adult.
Yeah.
That's one thing I will say we failed men and young boys in, is like we just kind of treat that like I feel like society has raised kids kind of the same way, where women are still expected to do all of those things, but also women are more likely to go to college and also have their own job. And then boys just kind of grow up thinking like, oh yeah, I'll get myself a wife that'll have all my shitty babies and then do all of the slave work for me at the house and split the bills with me. And it's like, no, we're not fucking doing that. Get with the times. You'll be more fulfilled if you meet us halfway.
They know this stuff. That's part of what has enticed them into this ideology. They're grasping onto true things and just running with it in the wrong way. Yeah. Like one of the things they talk about is like, so one person made this whole post about how like, well, men are unnecessary. Like we don't need men anymore.
I mean,
women could absolutely, if they wanted to, with all the sperm reserves that exist in the world, they could procreate and keep the world going as long as they wanted to for an indefinite amount of time and never sleep with another man.
It's so funny because remember, I've said this before
I know
a million
you have.
times.
I know you have.
Like, and this is the thing. Yes, that's true. But also, like, if you would like to be a part of society and progress with us, be nice.
Be
and
nice. Be a nice
useful.
person. Just be somebody who people want to be around, and people will be around you. Nobody wants to be around you if you're believing this incel bullshit. If you literally just deleted the incel shit from your brain, you would be 10 times more enticing as a friend, as a romantic partner, as anything that you would want to be. 10 times more, if not more than 10 times more. I read this long-ass post that was talking about how, like, feminism is bad for trans people, like, because the core tenets of feminism is to abolish gender, and therefore trans people wouldn't exist. And I'm like, that's a wholly misreading of everything in feminism and gender.
Real feminism does advocate for trans people because we are getting rid of gender roles by women being able to do things.
Yes.
And gender roles are what make society look at trans people as freaks. Especially like before they pass, or if they choose never to pass, it's just like, oh, well, like people perceive you as a little bit of both if they don't know anything about trans people. And when you don't have gender roles, that isn't a thing. People aren't perceiving trans people as freaks. They're just people, you know?
I do know.
Did you know 100 years ago it was illegal for women to wear pants?
I did.
It would be like the equivalent of a man wearing like a dress.
An episode of my old podcast, Bras You Should Know, about the woman who like challenged that in court.
We should do an episode on that.
The episode exists. Like, it was on my old podcast, which is still up. Like,
but it's not on our
Go
podcast.
to Broads You Should Know. It's all about women in history who did really cool shit.
Okay, go to Broads You Should Know. You'll just tell me about it when we're not recording an episode then. I want to know about it.
I can give like a really quick recap of it, which is like, this woman was basically, she was charged for wearing pants in public. And so she had a court date. And so she showed up to the court date in pants.
Hell yeah, that's a bad bitch.
And they were like, we can't have you wearing those pants in here. You have to leave. And she was like, but you told me to be here. And they were like, yes, but you can't wear pants. And she was like, all right, well, when should I come back? And they gave her another court date. And she came back in pants. And she
That's a bad bitch.
And she just kept doing it until they were like, this is ridiculous. Like, let her wear pants. Like,
yeah, just let the lady wear pants.
Just let her wear pants. She's gonna keep doing it.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, bitches wear pants all the time now and we're fine. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that was a thing that was like, oh, crazy gender bending rule. And like, no one bats an eye at it now. But 100 years ago, not even that long ago, it was like a big fucking deal. And yeah, you would have to go to court over it. You know what I mean? It's like, a lot of the gender roles and rules we make up don't make any fucking sense and they're stupid.
Yeah, none of them make sense.
It's stupid. Like, a cis dude should be able to put on a skirt and go to work if he wants. And girls should be able to wear pants to work. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
We didn't really have gender roles before we had colonialism.
Yeah, but this entire system has gone on too long. I want it gone. And we're in the middle of it falling, but like, unfortunately, it's just not coming fast enough for me.
It sure isn't. I'm trying to decide if I want to read some of the quotes that I wrote down, or some of the like direct quotes from these fuckers.
Yes, I would like to hear them.
Someone named Popo Forever.
Sorry.
Pause for laugh. Popo Forever says, transmaxing is masculinity at its best, facing an apparently insurmountable problem. Incels manage to have sex with women by imitating them. Transmaxers are using progressives' man-hate against them.
I'm sorry. I can't.
It's ridiculous. Rockman XX says, well, progressives only care about minorities and women. So what can a poor non-minority man do in a society that is hostile to him? Become one of those minorities somehow. There's no reasoning with their insanity. All we can do is use their own clown logic against them. I'm not a man, I'm a masculine trans woman. And then there's like actual trans people who are on these pages. They're like the red pill trans people who have like discovered this shit. But they are in these chats being like, "Hey, don't do this."
Yeah.
Like even the red pill trans people
even
are
the
like
conservative trans people
even
are
the
like
conservative trans people are like, "Hey, if you're not trans, you shouldn't transition.
No.
It's bad for you. It's going to cause you mental distress.
It's going to make
Like,
you want to kill yourself even worse than you already do.
Yes.
Like, what do you, like, God, men will do anything but go to therapy. I
know.
hate it.
I know.
Just fucking hire a therapist. God. Like, go to a fucking therapist.
I know.
I know I'm laughing at some of the shit too, but it is dangerous.
It's dangerous and it's terrifying.
These
and
people
it's
are
heartbreaking
dangerous.
and it's I'm scared for my life now because these fuckers have infiltrated everything and they're making me look like a villain and
Yeah.
I've done nothing. I'm literally just like teaching math.
And you're the nicest person I know. I genuinely mean that. I thought about it one day and I thought about all of my friends and you're my nicest friend.
What makes me your nicest friend?
I mean, she tries to like fight dudes all the time and like
Okay.
is cool. Is a fucking asshole though. Yeah, when people like when I see shit where people are like talking terrible things about trans people, I just like I think of you and I'm like, I can't believe there are people that have never gotten the pleasure of meeting you, and based on what all of these lunatics on Fox News are saying, if they were to meet you, they would immediately assume you're this awful person, and
when
it's not
they
true.
meet me, they immediately assume that I'm an awful person.
Which is insane because you were one of the nicest people I know.
They either avoid me like the plague, or they make it a point to be mean to me.
Which that shit fucking pisses me off. That shit makes me so mad.
Yeah. Or they pretend to be nice only to mock me later.
Yeah.
Those are the only options for these fucking people.
Fucking psychopaths.
They are not interested in knowing me as a person. They are only interested in knowing me as a concept and as a fetish.
That's the thing. A lot of men, because sometimes when we're like walking around together, because like I notice it now, like guys will stare at you specifically. And some of them are like staring out of anger. But some of them, sometimes they're like checking you out and creeping on you. And as soon as, because I'll like make eye contact with them. I do staring contests with like
I get enough
dudes.
DMs to know that it's happening.
And then like they'll notice that I notice they're looking at you, and as soon as they see me, they look down like, and they always look scared. And I'm like, bro, just.
Well, you also give vibes that you would fight anybody, so.
I try to avoid fighting men, but if I have to, I cheat. So.
Exactly, and I think they know that.
Yeah.
You give that vibe that you would win.
I'd hit him with the chair. It'd be like WWE in this bitch.
Do you want to hear some of the sections from the manifesto?
Yeah, let's do this.
There is a how to transition section, which is a 13-step process involving sissy corn, banking your sperm, and HRT. There's a chapter of the manifesto titled Trans Women Have Way Better Sex Than Chad. Are you aware of like
The Chad, yeah, I know about the Chad thing.
Trans women have way better sex than Chad.
I mean, that's true, but also these incels aren't trans women, so it's like...
There's a whole chapter about how good your multiple full body orgasms will be once you've been taking estrogen for a while.
Not if you're like a dude pretending to be a woman.
I mean, honestly, the estrogen would probably still affect your body in that way. Like, you'd probably still be capable of having the full body orgasm.
Wouldn't it make them dysphoric orgasming that way though?
Depends how they're doing it. So another section, how society benefits from people transitioning. Point 1, incels will become less likely to develop or maintain problematic political beliefs or become violent.
Clearly that's not working out.
Well, those people should transmax then.
No, I mean like they're still gonna have
The transmaxers are not the ones doing the violence. So they're like, in this manifesto, it's like, hey, if you're a guy who might be prone to violent tendencies, you should try transmaxing, and then you won't want to be as violent anymore. Like, literally, that's in the book.
there's things I want to say that
And then it says, instead, you will benefit from accelerated hypergamy and gynocentrism.
Gynocentrism?
That means that society puts people with gynas first.
With gynas?
With gynas.
Sorry.
It's gyno.
I just can't believe this is real life. Sorry.
And do you know what hypergamy is?
I have heard the definition before, but I do not. What is it?
Hypergamy is the ability that only women have to marry up to a higher social class.
Okay, I have heard that before. That is what I thought it was.
They're like, only women can just like suddenly be a billionaire by marrying a billionaire.
Yeah, try getting married to a billionaire man as pretending to be you're being a trans woman.
Yes.
You're gonna be a side bitch, bro. Like,
they're very stupid. And also, hiding beneath that point, the reason men can't marry a billionaire woman and raise their social class is because women aren't on the top. Because women don't have the power that they're saying they do.
Yeah.
Because women are not in the upper class. So there aren't very many of them to marry some fucking slum guy and be like, hey, do you want to be my fucking trophy wife?
yeah, like look at Melania Trump, for example.
Yeah.
She doesn't have much. She does whatever like the Trump administration wants her to. And yeah, she's getting money, but like she hates her fucking life and she's not in a position of power. She's just Trump's bitch. Like that's all she is. Also, I think she beats the shit out of Trump in the bedroom and he likes it. That's the vibe it gives. I think her not showing up to things because he's not paying her enough is some sort of humiliation kink he's into. Like, but she looks miserable. She doesn't look happy.
Well, she was a victim.
Yeah.
She was sold to him.
Like, yeah. Ooh, she has so much power.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Like, think about it.
She has what little power she can carve out, which is not much. I've spoken all of my notes at various points throughout this. That's what I have. I've been processing this for a week and a half or 2 weeks or however long it's been since like I learned that this was real.
Yeah, I've been consuming content like nonstop.
But like I had a hunch that this was something that like a couple people were doing only because I met a person who I was like, why are you saying you're a trans woman but you seem like an incel?
Yeah.
Like why is everything that comes out of your mouth like really incel-y, but also you're like a woman? Like none of this makes sense.
I had heard people talk about this a little bit on the internet. Like every once in a while I'd see someone like yapping about like the incel 4chan transmaxing is a thing. And I'm like, I just thought they were being transphobic. And a lot of the incel stuff is meant to be. There was a creator I follow. It's this non-binary person. And they were talking about it because they've done a deep dive on this for years. And they were saying all of this stuff is meant to confuse people. So you sound crazy trying to talk about it.
Yes. Yeah.
Like all of their
absolutely.
terminology, like all of the jokes and the bullshit and like the ridiculousness of it all is meant to sound ridiculous and confusing. So no one will believe you. And also people are like, I don't want to hear about this. It just sounds insane. I don't want to deal with it.
It's cultural trolling.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate troll.
And it's a way they can kind of hide in the dark corners of the internet, you know?
Yeah.
But like they kind of come out in the light in like they're like roaches.
Yeah.
Like there'll be like one just crawling around in the light, but there's like 1,000 of them in the walls. It's that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And this person was saying like they want it to sound confusing so people will think you're crazy when you try to talk about it. But right now people are talking about it because Charlie Kirk got killed and turns out that the kid was a BlackPill incel kid. And everyone started talking about Nick Fuentes and like all of this shit, it like openly, like now was the time to talk about it because we're all paying attention to it. It was just like the right timing, I think. But I dismissed it until this last week because I just I was like, I know incels on 4chan exist.
I feel like I said on a previous episode of this podcast, like, this isn't a thing that's happening. Like, people don't pretend to be trans. Like, men aren't pretending to be women to, like, get into secret spaces. And, like,
now it's
look at me
turning out-
eating my fucking words. Like, do you know how awful it feels to have to admit that J.K. Rowling was right?
She was right to an extent, but
I
she
know.
wasn't talking about the incels. She's
I know.
talking about actual trans people.
Yeah, because she's getting it all fucking... She's successfully confused
Yeah.
by these fuckers.
Yeah.
And the only people suffering are, like, trans people.
That's what I'm saying. It's at your guys' expense. It's bullshit.
I'm sad.
I know.
It makes me sad. Why can't I just be a person? I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to go anywhere. I'm not trying to get in any secrets clubs. I just want to be. I just want to play cards.
I know. That is what you want to do. Realistically, if you could just quit your job and do nothing all day, you would play Magic 24/7. I almost said 24 days a week.
If there were 24 days in the week, that's how many days I play Magic a week.
With your 9 billion Magic decks that you got.
It's like 60 at this point. You know?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I just would like to say to any men out there who might be considering transmaxing, I would like to echo the trans women in the Transmaxxer pages that you should not.
Don't do it.
You shouldn't do it. You don't have to do it. If you're not trans, it's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad time, and you're going to have a bad time, and you're going to be unhappy.
Yeah.
Like,
Go to therapy.
Literally just go to therapy.
Go to therapy instead.
Even if you don't want to go to therapy, like, just be a good person. If there was a different way that I could have cured my gender dysphoria other than transitioning, I would have done that because of how much harder life is in general on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment, second-to-second basis on an interpersonal human level. I would have chosen any other fucking path. I would have happily stayed a weird fucking guy if there was a different fix to the problem. But you know what? Estrogen fixed it. Just over fucking night. I went from wanting to unalive myself every single day to being like, wait a minute, I haven't thought about unaliving myself in like 3 months.
Yeah, because it's a hormone imbalance.
This is crazy. That was all it took?
Getting your hormones together makes a huge difference.
That was all it took? That was it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool. This shit, transmaxing,
It's fucking horseshit.
the fact that somebody
Yeah.
came up with this specifically to harm my community and people like me because they're so lonely and hateful by themselves and they don't know how to make themselves happy. They're like, how dare those fucking people have figured out how to be happy? I didn't figure out how to be happy. So I'll just
Become them.
I'll just do what they did. And I won't be happy, but at least I'll be making fun of them.
Yeah.
Look, that's loser mentality. Like that's like little weasel, like little pathetic baby weasel territory.
Yeah.
That's not likable person. That's not fuckable person. That's not dating material. That's ew.
Yeah. Literally.
Alas. Thank you for listening to this very important episode on this very disturbing topic that I am devastated to admit is real.
There is a TikTok creator. If you want to learn more about the BlackPill stuff, there is a TikTok creator I follow. Jax, I believe, is their name.
You're looking for your phone. You're on it.
We should cut that out of the...
Nope.
God damn it. I haven't even been
You're
awake that
literally
long.
recording yourself on it, by the way. Just, so you know. Anyway, I don't know nothing about nothing.
We're cutting that out of the thing.
just
Jesus
saying.
Christ.
No.
Fuck you.
Look, I take out plenty of embarrassing moments. I've earned leaving in one.
Fine.
I promise not to release the other ones if I
Jesus
can leave that one in.
I want to wrap this up. I'll tell you the story later.
All
but
right, great.
Jax, I'll just like leave their like handle.
We'll put it in the bio.
Yeah, we'll put it in the bio. The bio.
We'll put it in the bio,
We'll put it in the bio.
which is where the Transmaxxers live.
In the bio. Facts.
I just want to encourage people to be smart. That's all I want to do.
I
That's all
know.
I want to do with my whole life is like, hopefully there will be more smart people in the world by the time I'm gone.
I tell you all the time, you're the smartest person I know, and it must suck to be you. I think it's a curse. I would hate being as smart as you.
Maybe I'm the smartest person you know, but I'm not the smartest person.
I don't know. I've met some pretty smart people, and they don't quite touch on as many categories as you do. So
I'm a couple standard deviations above the mean. It helps that my hyper focus as an autistic person is knowledge. Like, I just want to learn. If there's a thing I don't know, I must know it.
Also, you have emotional intelligence, so you see things through that lens. And there are a lot of like smart people that are actually really fucking stupid.
That's
because they don't have emotional intelligence, and when you don't,
I had to work on that. I didn't always have emotional intelligence.
Yeah,
there was a window of time in my life where I was not far from an incel. And it was when I was at like an impressionable age. Like, I honestly think it's possible. Some of these transmaxers are actually trans people, but because of their worldview and their beliefs and their ideologies, they can't accept that about themselves. And so this is like a backdoor way to secretly do it.
And still be accepted by at least their inner circle.
Right.
Yeah.
And not lose their friends or have to like start like... Some people just can't, like, they just can't handle the idea of a start over.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can become emotionally intelligent. You can grow these skills. You can develop these things. And I know that because I did it. You don't have to be surrounded by toxic people who hate everything and live only to make people feel like shit.
Yeah, and they don't care about you.
They don't. They're narcissists. You're surrounded by narcissists who only want to, like, what you think you are all collectively doing, like, to society and to trans people, every one of you is also doing it to each and every other one of you. Like, you don't have friends.
No, they don't care about you.
A society of trolls who are trolling each other, trolling the trolls. It's a troll.
It's a troll.
It's a troll trolling trolls. Where trolls troll trolls who troll trolls.
Troll.
You
speak the troll.
You speak the true.
You speak the
troll. Anyway, I'm done.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been Lady in the Trans podcast. I'm Lady, and I'm on a bed, and I'm never doing that again. Bye. This might not be much better on my back. Hold on. I'm sorry. I know. I'm trying to get comfortable. My back has been so fucked up since that car accident. Hold on.
This is going to be a nightmare to edit.
I'm so sorry. You could just throw it in there. It's a
fucking
blooper.
Nightmare. God damn.
I'm sorry.
It's just like you're going to be in one shot, like, sitting like this, and then the next shot, like, a completely different way. And then, like, it's just going to be a fucking nightmare. And I don't even remember what I was saying.
Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
God damn it. I'm already upset. Okay.
Yeah. Lady in the Trans podcast. Where we believe in science. We don't believe in God. Only science.